From Dozy Place on Government Street in Mid-City. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hanniger, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro, Jordan Kitchens back in the studio, and Isco with us today. We do first class, second class, no class. Glad that you're with us on a beautiful day here in Baton Rouge. Jimmy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Charlie.
John Foster, can we give the congratulations?
Yes.
I went out on the west side today, but
First class.
he made it. First class, obviously. He makes it to the finals of American Idol.
He had last night done. Now comes the hard part.
The finals are on.
Yeah,
finals are on Sunday. We were on the. If you weren't with us yesterday, we were on the west side over at Walk-Ons, and the support over there is overwhelming. They're going to have Max a parade and a concert tomorrow night.
Wednesday there'll be a parade in Addis. I believe at 4:30. I'll pull that up in a second, and then 7:30 in Plaquemine on the waterfront. There will be a concert for him.
Good. Congratulations.
How's the weather?
We're pulling for him.
Looking great. Warm, but great.
There you go.
All right, he was terrific last night. So down to the final three that'll be decided on Sunday night. News wasn't as good locally for the Pelicans in the lottery last night. New Orleans, who went in with the fourth best chance to win this thing, dropped 3 spots, ended up in the 7 hole. The lottery was won by the Mavericks, who I hate the conspiracy theory thing. I'm one of the people that believes that the very first draft lottery was absolutely rigged for the Knicks to get Patrick Ewing, but that after that, they didn't rig it again until Cleveland got LeBron. I thought that the ones in between that were pretty much on the level. And then after LeBron,
What was the reason? Because LeBron's a home guy.
He kind of saved be the franchise for a franchise that had never had any real success before that. And I thought that the rest of them between Ewing and LeBron were pretty much on the level. And I want to believe that this stuff's on the level because I think if you do it on the level, that truth is stranger than fiction. It provides a lot of good storylines. And maybe this was on the level last night, but boy, it sure looks fishy. That Dallas makes.
You don't think he would have gotten out if it was rigged? Ewing? It's been a while.
Well, they did a whole documentary on it, and a lot of the people that were on stage that night, they either were closed-lipped about it or the commissioners passed on. Now, do I think that they put the envelope in the freezer and pull the Knicks? I do. For Ewing, you remember as well as anybody, Jimmy, what a big name Ewing was at that time, and how long the Knicks had.
He was as much the number one as Cooper Flagg is now.
Yes, absolutely, if not more. And the Knicks had struggled for the better part of at that point.
I don't know about more. Cooper Flagg's pretty much.
Patrick
1 to 1,000. 1 to 1,000. You gonna take the guy from Rutgers?
Well, no, but nobody was taking anybody but Patrick Ewing that year either. I mean, Ewing was a mega star.
Okay, well, Flagg, this is maybe done, Charlie.
No, it was done. Okay. No argument there.
This is.
I guess what you had 4 years of Patrick Ewing's dominance in college when college basketball was.
I understand that, but we're talking about the probability of being taken number one.
They were both 100% going to be the number one.
Yeah, I don't think it's any more.
And the Knicks needed something at that time. Bernard King was their best player, but he was injured, and you had to go back to Willis Reed to where they'd really made a run. I think they rigged it for
a long time.
Well, it was there. It was 15 years.
Yeah.
I believe that the NBA rigged the first lottery for Ewing. Okay, no way to prove it, but they put the.
Well, you got to look at the motivation. Motivation is, feed the number one media market team. Yeah. We know they want to shove them down our throats. If there was any type of little hope that they have.
And back then, it wasn't 1,000 ping pong balls with 4 number combinations and all that stuff. It was 12 or 13 envelopes in the hopper. They drew in front of everybody. They put the Knicks envelope in the freezer so that the guy reaching in there felt for the cold one, got the cold envelope, pulled it out. It was the Knicks. I believe that. No way to prove it. I'll go to my grave thinking they rigged that one. And I think they rigged the LeBron lottery, just to save Cleveland. I thought most of the other lotteries were on the level. And I hate that this is even a story, but you got to look at this is one of the most improbable trades in NBA history. And the Mavericks, who had a 1.8% chance to win this thing, win it. And I'm not saying the Pelicans would have won it, but the Mavericks come from that far back to get after the reaction, where they almost wanted to burn Nico and the building to the ground at the same time. You give Dallas fans a reason to re-engage with a young superstar. Never know. Okay, maybe this all happened on the level, but it sure looks fishy. Don't you think? I mean, you've been a feed the Lakers guy. The Lakers always end up with the last time did the Pelicans win the Anthony Davis lottery because Tom Benson agreed to buy the team if they did it, because they didn't have a buyer at the time to keep the team in New Orleans, and they didn't have a ready-made place to move them to at the time. So they said, you buy the team, we'll give you Anthony Davis.
Man, I don't know.
That's a stretch. Okay, that was a story that was out there. I never bought into that one.
I just don't know about this.
You trade Davis to the Lakers. Okay, we'll give you Zion. I never bought into that.
I don't see where saving Cleveland's ever been a priority for the league either. Saving Cleveland? Oh, okay. Really?
No, but it was. I mean, if LeBron had been from St. Louis, they wouldn't have done it. But because he was a hometown
LeBron could go anywhere. Where Cooper Flag's from?
He could. He's from Maine, right?
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
maybe keep him home at the Celtics.
I think the idea was that if LeBron would stay in Cleveland, anybody else might have wanted out. At the time he stayed there, it was a time to put a foothold in a place where the NBA didn't have.
Well, I got to look at the motive. I mean, I got to try and look at the motivation of the conspirator, and I mean. To inject some life into the number one media market team, 100%.
Yeah.
Saving Cleveland, I
may be wrong on that.
I mean, no. So,
but he was from there, and
I understand where he's from. That doesn't matter. I mean, what we talked about Cooper. This is Cooper Flag from Dallas? No,
that's not the motivation this time. The motivation
is to save the Dallas Mavericks fans. They're that strong, that valued of a fan base.
No,
kiss my ass. No way.
No.
They're the number 6 media market. But I mean, let's reward this guy who, did something that was out of touch.
No, you got to go back one step. You got to say we need Luka in Los Angeles because LeBron's about to retire. For that, we will compensate the Mavericks with the number 1 pick in the draft.
If you're the Lakers right now, who'd you take right now? I know the trade and everything is, the contracts, but right now, Flag or Luka?
Luka.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that 30 out of 30 general managers would take the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Because Luka is has been a dominant player in the league. He's taken a team to the finals himself. I think Cooper Flag is going to be great, but I don't know that for sure.
I know that Luka won one game this postseason.
It won a lot more than that last postseason.
Is that dominant?
It was last year.
Well, does he give? Well, he has to give up some of that equity that he built last postseason equity that he built.
I think the Lakers had more problems than Luka, but yeah, they came back a lot sooner than they should have.
I mean, they went to the finals last year, so kind of in the middle. It's kind of been average the last 2 postseasons. Dominant.
He's been a dominant player.
Dominant offensive player.
Yeah.
We've been through this before.
We have. He's been a dominant offensive player.
So when they got bounced this year, what'd you hear about his defense, his condition? Did you not?
Yeah.
Could be the pile on journalism.
But I think the Lakers had an awful lot more problems than just Luka. He got in there with 30 games to go, 35 games to go. They didn't have a lot of time to mesh. They didn't have the big. I didn't hear
that when they were starting the playoffs.
No, you didn't.
I sure didn't hear that, Charlie. And I didn't hear you say it either.
You didn't have the big. You didn't have Mark Williams, who they thought they would get in the trade, and then the physical.
It's easy to say now. They got bounced in 5.
I think
on the 6th seed.
I think Luka's great. Okay, I think he's one of the top 5 or 6 guys in the league. I think he's a guy you can build a team around. Yeah, well, there's been plenty of guys that you could build around that could get you pretty deep that didn't play a league.
Awful defensively.
Allen Iverson didn't play any defense either. You got the Sixers to the finals. Okay, George Gervin didn't play any defense.
If he has Iverson's postseason results, dominant player?
I think that I think he's a dominant player. We're going to disagree about that. Okay, I think Luka's great. And
you think Flag will win more championships than Luka?
That's hard to say. I mean, is Dallas in position to win a title now?
Not his first year.
It's not. He's not going to be the focal point of next year's team if either Kyrie or Davis or both are healthy. He's going to be a complementary piece as a rookie. really good complimentary piece, but he's going to be a complimentary
Oh
piece.
yeah, it's going to be
and eventually in 5 years from now it'll be his team, and then you'll see what they build around him. By that time the franchise, is going to look a lot different. You'll have almost a decade worth of the new owners. So that's hard to say.
Luka keeps at this pace. Luka's got a lot of tread, and he's not helping himself out to extend his career with his conditioning.
I agree with both of those points, but I'll counter that with they will make sure that the Lakers have a competitive team every year that he's there.
30 out of 30. Okay. We'll see who has a more decorated career. We'll see.
Yeah.
We just for every second you play on offense, you got to play on defense.
I know.
Okay.
I'm aware of that, and
he's horrible defensively.
He's great offensively.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's okay. So it's a wash.
You get paid on the offensive end a lot more.
Oh, well, I'm well aware of that. Okay. So
anyway, I just the optics of it aren't great.
We had this conversation when Luka was traded, and y'all were making plans for the victory parade, the championship parade.
I don't remember doing that. I remember saying it was a lopsided trade. I remember saying it was a lopsided trade.
All right.
And I do think Luka will win a championship in Los Angeles. May not be next year.
All right.
But I figure that they will put a team around him when LeBron.
Well, who are they gonna orchestrate to get over there next time?
I don't know. Maybe Cooper Flag. Maybe they'll do another trade.
Yeah, well, let him go eat some bad food, gain 40 pounds, and they'll ship him over there.
They'll find somebody really good.
Nico, you'll have a problem with Cooper Flag's got to get out of shape.
Maybe it'll be Zion.
Well, you want to talk about
the Los Angeles teams like to shop in Louisiana?
Pelicans, okay, we're going to send Zion to maintain his interest, where he could kind of be subject to kind of having his eye.
I was being facetious there because he's the only one with more weight problems than Luka.
I'm sorry, I was going to finish. And so we were telling you about the division, and let's see. Oh, wait, this team's out, this team's out. The last two teams are in the Pels division. Dallas in the division, they get Cooper Flag. And San Antonio gets a second pick and another pick, and they're talking about enough draft equity to get Giannis now.
They could make that trade.
Hell, maybe Dallas would do it. Maybe Dallas would trade Flag for Giannis. They've always loved Giannis.
Oh, I don't think that's an even trade right now. Even with all the uncertainty of Cooper Flag, and I'm kind of putting him out there as like he's just, and he's not. I mean, listen, we've done this long enough. We got a long way to go. He should just be getting his diploma next week in high school. So he looks the part, but we've seen some guys that looked the part that it didn't work out. But Zion, what is his draft equity? I mean, his trade equity right now, trade value. What is it?
I would say it's at one of its lowest.
So
points.
I asked you right now. You said Luka. You said, well, of course, that's your way of saying it. 30 out of 30 GMs, Luka over Cooper Flag. Zion Cooper Flag right now.
Oh, you get a lot of them take Flag now because Zion can't stay on the floor. Okay. I don't know if it'd be 30 out of 30, but Zion can play when he plays, but he hardly ever plays. So, no, you get a lot of them take Flag over Zion. If the Dallas Mavericks called, if such a trade were possible, you'd have to balance out the salaries. If the Dallas Mavericks called New Orleans right now and said, we'll trade you the number one pick for Zion Williamson, it wouldn't take them a second.
Take a long. Maybe Mickey Loomis will still be there. Maybe I'll still be on this earth. Charlie's count my days. But anyway, the thing about it is when it's all said and done, right now, Blue Book.
Yeah.
Right now. You got Luka Doncic will have more playoff series victories than Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a bet.
Okay. Cool. So we both have to stick around for a while.
Who you want,
this kid's going to be in the league a while.
More playoff.
What kind of lead do I have right now? How many?
Is that a fair evaluation?
Sure.
Yeah, I need to know how many.
Besides just points.
You look that up. The Spurs did come out of this thing like a rose because they've got the number 2 pick now. You've got Victor Wembanyama. You've got Stephon Castle. You've got De'Aaron Fox. And now you've got potentially Dylan Harper or enough to make a trade if you want to upgrade with a veteran instead of a rookie. Listen, that's a really, really good.
I think there's a big position to fall off after Dylan Harper. No. Big fall off after Flag.
there are people that think that Dylan Harper is clear. There's a drop off after Flag and another drop off after Harper. People like Harper a lot more than they like the next 2 or 3 guys. That's opinion. That's not as unanimous as the drop off.
I watched Dylan Harper. It is not as big of a drop off. It is not. You can make a case for a lot of guys out there. I know college is a different game, but no, the Flag was
clearly the best. I'm not
a big drop off.
I'm not arguing.
Big drop off.
5 playoff series wins for Doncic.
All right, five in one trip to the finals. All right, so you got 6 years.
We're throwing in finals now. We're throwing championships. We're throwing in playoff series.
Playoff series.
All right, Carmelo. Playoff series.
5 playoff series. Okay.
Carmelo scored how many points?
A lot.
He's going to Hall of Fame, right?
He is.
They throw parades at him. They act like he's in the Mount Rushmore of the history of the NBA.
He could score.
How many playoff series does he have?
There weren't very many good teams around him.
Max, look it up, buddy.
0 or 1.
Not very many.
Oh, it's about 3 or 4.
He never played for the Lakers either. They never put a team around him. And I'm not saying I loved Carmelo Anthony. He had obviously a lot of defensive liabilities too. And I understand Luka's limitations, but I believe they will put a team around him in Los Angeles. I wouldn't have made the same bet if he stays in Dallas and Cooper Flag went to the Lakers. I wouldn't have made the bet then. They'll make sure the Lakers are good. They will go to great lengths to make sure the Lakers are good.
That I cannot argue with.
Okay, so that was kind of where I was going with it at the beginning. Is that they compensated Dallas to run Luka out to Los Angeles? Now,
you sold. You think that's
I
it?
Do. Okay, I do. Right. Pelicans at number 7.
So conspiratorial.
Yeah, I know, and I hate to be like that. I would rather them play it straight.
I can't. I don't have an opinion. I mean,
I can ask you about a guy that you did watch play, who would fit for the Pelicans, and we're going to do this when we get to June. But Kaman Malach, the freshman from Duke, he's from the Sudan, 7'2", 250 pounds, a giant wingspan. There's a chance that he would be there at 7.
Can they just bring in a young rim defender?
Yeah, but this guy's a lot better than Missy on that end. He's a lot bigger.
I think Missy. I think he's.
I like Missy.
I think he's on track.
I like Missy.
I mean, he's getting a little taste.
You can have 2. You can have 2 bigs. The bigs matter in the playoffs. They're finding. I like Malach. I think he's going to be a really good defender.
7th pick, there.
7th pick. Yeah, that's about where he is. You know what else I like about him?
A backup. I mean, I don't.
I think he could be he's going to be a starter before too much longer. 77% free throw shooter for a 7'2", 250-pound big.
Hello.
So
not Mitchell Robinson.
That's what I like about him.
That's telling. We talk about Karl Anthony Towns.
Anybody at 7 is going to come with some warts.
That might be the second highest I've ever heard of.
After Towns, yeah.
Uh-huh.
77
as a freshman 7-footer.
Yeah, 77%.
I didn't realize that, Charlie.
Yeah, you know what turned me off about him? He had a lousy game against Houston in the Final Four. He played 21 minutes and didn't have a rebound. I mean, come on. You can miss shots or whatever. He never rebound. But that was one game.
Yeah, well,
he was good in the playoffs. He was good against Alabama.
That's a grown man's team.
Yeah,
and they Houston's going to bully you, and even he'll have a chance to improve upon that. 2 years of playing ball and getting a little bit on the strength and conditioning. Will he get pushed around and bullied and kind of intimidated like that to where? Because I'm sorry, with his wingspan, he got to get one. Yeah,
right.
I mean,
it was a bad game. Yeah, it was a bad game. He had a good game against Alabama.
But Houston has done that to some
they're
young.
They're physical and they're old. Yeah,
they're physical and they are old. We're live over here at Dozy Place. Always a good man. More and more, our lunches have really been getting good, man. You go buy. I mean, a big hamburger. I mean, just a big hamburger. Dress it how you want. Hand cut hand fries for $12. I mean, you can't beat it, man. And the thing about it is, all of our lunch menu items, and we got a completely different lunch menu that's available 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. That's not available for dinner. And whether it's the spaghetti and meatballs, the catfish plate, the chicken fried steak. You seen that chicken fried steak? It looks like a Frisbee. Can we get around that, Charlie?
Yeah.
Scott's conspired to make it look like a Frisbee. But anyway,
I guess.
But it is generous portions. Hey, eat half, put the half at the work lunch and eat it later for dinner, whatever it is, take it home. you're not going to leave hungry over here at Dozy Place. But man, if you haven't been here for lunch, we talk about the great steaks and the great cocktails and wine that you get for dinner, and start off with the tamales. But our lunch have really been growing. The lunch business has increased significantly. Come see what all the fuss is about here at Dozy Place on Government in the heart of Mid-City.
Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. Louisiana based since 1908 for all your business and personal banking solutions for any needs. Check out the local bankers ready to help you meet your financial goals with competitive rates, great annual percentage yields, and low minimum balances. Talk to one of the local bankers at any Baton Rouge location, corporate, Sherwood Forest, Longform Village, and Bluebonnet. You'll also find Home Bank locations in Acadiana, New Orleans, the North Shore, Natchez, and Houston. Visit home24bank.com for more information. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
That's what I say. It's easier just to let it play out.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Shows available on demand, LouisianaSports.net, 104.5ESPN.com, and new Handycast up on the baseball impending into the season and the postseason up right now on YouTube. Celtics lose game 4 last night and lose Jason Tatum in the process. Knicks, who trailed at the half by 11, came back, took the lead late in the
14
third quarter.
in the third.
Yeah, it got up to 14 early in the third quarter, and that's the third double-digit second-half lead, although this one didn't get to 20 like the other ones did, that the Celtics have blown this year. Jason Tatum played great right up until what was just – I never got a real good look at his leg coming down. So I didn't see that part of it. I just saw him on the ground.
He didn't allow it to come down. It was kind of his push off on like a change of direction.
Yeah, the first thing I saw was him on the ground, like writhing in pain. Right. So
nothing to his ankle, nothing to his knee, just sort of a push off, non-contact. Yeah. When he started to fall, he was already trying to protect, you know, his right leg.
So if it's a non-contact and there's no ankle and no knee, you think Achilles, right?
I mean, by process of elimination, it doesn't look good.
There was a different angle where people suggested they could see the calf kind of buckle release, as you see. I didn't see that personally, but yeah, that's always a telltale sign.
Probably your best case scenario is if it's a tear in the calf, which is something that Towns talked about after the game. He had that 2 years ago instead of an Achilles. Either way, you got to figure Tatum's not going to be a part of the rest of the series.
He wasn't good with the points, too, Charlie.
No, he
rebounded. He had 4 assists. One specifically was just so beautiful. I mean, he was really feeling it. He was, even just the silly stuff about he's the face of this team. He didn't win the Finals MVP. They didn't play him in the Olympics, but he is their main guy. He is their leader. And, is his game, is perimeter part of his game? It is. Mm-hmm. And what perimeter shooter's never had an off night? There's never been a perimeter shooter that's never had an off night, but we think that he could do more when he is off from the perimeter. But he was not good a couple of games ago, but damn it, he was excellent last night. Derek White was outstanding. Brown was not bad. I mean, it was, Pritchard was, had 12 points, kind of an average for him, but the Knicks had to have Anunoby play really good. I mean, Brunson was outstanding. Towns was really good. Towns was 11-15 from the floor.
Yeah.
And altered some shots, had 11 rebounds. I mean, he had a lot of guys playing really good last night. This wasn't where like one team and the Celtics, when they're firing like that, they just got more firepower than the Knicks. But then when it got close, it was over, Jack. Instead of the last 6 minutes, and he went down with about 3 minutes to go, and it was still a game, but the heavy lifting looked like it was done. And the Knicks were way more comfortable in that, half court, Brunson, you ISO, you create for yourself. And let me tell you, Derek White's an excellent defender. Brunson made some highly difficult shots that were contested by White. It was a high-level basketball game in a place that can be overrated sometimes, but it was on fire last night.
This is a lot of players playing really good for the Knicks, and one guy playing at the highest level you can play at in Brunson, who has been an all-star, who has been the face of that team since he got there, but now has gone, in my opinion, when they beat Boston, and they're going to beat Boston in at least one of these 3 games, he will have taken himself into that upper echelon of top 6 or 8 guys in the league. Brunson will. That's what this series has been about for me.
Second round pick.
Yeah. Just right there at the top of the second round, if I remember.
Now, he was the only guy on that Villanova National Championship team that did not redshirt. Of the starting 5.
Yeah.
And starting 5. All those other guys had redshirted the year before.
And, Mark Cuban made a big deal out about how he didn't want to let Brunson go out of Dallas, but he left anyway. His dad was on the staff up.
Well, we would have never known had Luka not been hurt. Luka was hurt.
He was. He was hurt.
But that Jazz series, look, including me, wrote him off because Luka was and Brunson made his money.
And when he went to the Knicks, I thought this guy's going to be a really good player. He's a fringe all-star. I didn't think of him as a top 6 or 8 guy in the league. I do now.
He's their guy, man. I mean, he's their guy, and they need and it fits because they don't have a whole lot of guys. Like, okay, ISO, hey, man, take your guy. They don't have those guys. They have guys that, okay, Brunson's got a little extra tension. Anunoby gets a clean look. He'll knock it down when he's on, like last night. But Mikal Bridges, the other thing. Towns sometimes. And Towns is just such a load, man. And, and Pritchard did a good job, boy. As soon as he picked up his second, bang, went out, got him to his third. He's going to give you those cheap fouls sometimes. But it looked like it was going to be a repeat of Game 3. And a better team, the Celtics were playing a good basketball. They were hitting threes, but they were also attacking the rim. And they were just, the Knicks give them a lot of credit, man. That is, they picked the right game to maybe play their best game against this quality of a competition playing at this high level. Because most people say when they both play at a high level like this, Knicks can't beat them. They did last night.
And find themselves behind again at half and play probably their best half of basketball.
They dig themselves holes. There's no doubt about that.
Max, any words of sympathy for Jason Tatum? I know he's your favorite.
Yeah, no, it's a terrible time in his career. He had a great game. Yeah. And the only thing I'd push back on you, Jimmy, I didn't think Jaylen Brown had a good game at all. He had 5 fouls. He was missing late in the game because of the foul trouble. He had 4 turnovers. Late in the game. The turnovers always a problem, the turnovers for him. He's always had a loose dribble. I'm someone who thinks Jaylen Brown's closer to Tatum than most people think. Last night you saw there was a big difference. There was a huge gap there. Tatum was outstanding. It sucks for him.
But Brown for 3 quarters plus a little bit into the fourth was just fine. But when that game gets, if the Knicks can hang around, they're way better. Game 1, they're way better when it's close. Game 2, way better when it's close. And then again, Game 3, they couldn't get there. Well, when they got it tight, they got it close, and it was no contest. The Knicks were so much better, including Tatum, who had a wide open 3. He just didn't connect all of a sudden. So they're way better, and they're just more mentally tough than the defending champs. And that's not what we're used to seeing, in the NBA with a more seasoned playoff team. And it is the case with the Knicks and the Celtics. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings, 296-0060. Full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service is what you get when you dial 296-0060. Our great team at Legacy Title, Ashley Bonham-Donald, Mariana Broussard-Haynes, Adrian Reese-Collada, Michael Platt, Natalie Smith, Bradford Smith, buying, building, refinancing. Nobody choose but you. Choose Chad Reynolds in Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell Omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Heading out to Las Vegas, deep in the desert, lives one man. One man of many sports bets. The one and only Andy Isco.
And return here at Dozy, place on Government Street in Mid-City.
Hey, Andy, what'd you think about the Boston Knicks game last night?
Well, I thought it was pretty much like games 1 and 2, as it turned out. In fact, the reason I played the game the way I did is I played Boston in the first half, minus the 3. But I didn't do anything for the full game because we have seen it several times now, three times out of the 4 games, where the Knicks show great resiliency. There's no lack of confidence, and Boston surprisingly continues to blow huge leads. Now, having said that, I'm going to be on them tomorrow night because they're going to be playing tomorrow, the Celtics back home. They're going to be playing as if their season's on the line. And you know what? It is an elimination game. And I cannot explain why what we've seen in 3 of those 4 games has occurred, given Boston's depth, Boston's edge and experience, defending champions, and all that. Perhaps for it to happen once, it's a fluke. For it to happen 2 times, it's a coincidence. For it to happen 3 times, it's a bit of a concern.
What about weigh us in before I get into the handicapping aspect of the NBA playoffs, because there's a massive trend going on. But the draft lottery rigged or not? We've got a spirited debate, not debate, just a healthy discussion going on. I don't know, which is rigged or not.
You know, I don't think so, but I can't prove it. And there are ways that the NBA can do it in a way that removes all doubt. And that is, if you have I think they use like a little 4 or 5 number code, which is associated with each team and the number of chances or percentage chance that they have. Why not show the balls coming out of the thing like they do when they do the lottery numbers? I think they did this years ago with it, and then they went to picking the envelopes out and everything. But that would be the one way to have like a random number generator shown, and you take a look at the chart and you find out who has the number 14 pick, who has the number 13 pick. Can I see circumstances where it is rigged? Absolutely. But do I think it's rigged? I would certainly hope not, because if that ever got found out, and look, if it's a conspiracy to hide it, there's always going to be a number of people in on that conspiracy who would somehow end up speaking, and that would do tremendous damage to the credibility of the NBA. So I have to say it's not rigged, but I can certainly see how people could expect that it is.
Charlie, they used to do the ball hopper back when the Ewing era, right?
They did envelopes for the Ewing deal. I don't
When
remember when
did
they
they?
changed
Oh, they
over.
had the hop, but you don't remember the hopper?
They changed it. It wasn't the Ewing one, but they
Okay.
changed it over later. And I don't remember what year it was, but he's right. Look, do I think this thing was rigged? Probably not. I'm kind of with him, but the optics of it just looks so bad. But they put all the general managers in a room an hour
to make it
before.
more transparent? I mean,
I guess they could put the meeting with the general managers on TV. It doesn't make for as good a television because it's a 4-ball combination that comes up. Okay, there's 1,000 possibilities, and I think Utah had 250 of them or whatever it is. So when it comes up and it's like 49, 11, 12, 16, and you're like, okay, who is that? So it's not great television, but I guess they could put that on if they really wanted to.
All right, guys, zigzag or recency bias, because that's kind of what you're dealing here with. But in the second round, let's just game one is game one. You don't have anything to respond. You don't have any exhale. You don't have any. But after game one of these 4 series, the team that did not cover the spread the game before did cover the spread in their series. For instance, Golden State in Minnesota are a perfect a 4-for-4. Golden State won and covered the first game. Minnesota covered game 2. Golden State covered game 3. Minnesota covered game 4. And they're 9-3 now collectively in this postseason. 2-0 again last night. Knicks did not cover game 3. They covered game 4. T-Wolves did not cover game 3. They did cover game 4. Although there was some shenanigans in both. And Draymond Green, do we believe that? You hear that some reports that Draymond Green was saying when they hit the 3 to cut it to 5 with 10 seconds, they didn't foul. He shouted, the spread's 5.5.
Oh, gosh.
You didn't hear that. You were busy all with college basketball over there. But I was shocked watching because when you miss, okay, they just give up and don't foul. When they make a 3, they always foul.
Yeah.
Always foul.
Yep.
They let them dribble it out. Your thoughts, Andy?
Yeah, I caught that too, and I thought my first reaction was to laugh a little bit, and then upon further reflection, I'm saying, hey, it probably just validates the fact that more people know the spread and are aware of the implications than perhaps a lot of us ever even thought, especially in the modern era of legalized sports betting. That they know what's going on, and whether it means that anyone deliberately did or didn't do something is subject to interpretation or speculation. But the fact that you say something like that, you know what the number is, it does sort of raise some eyebrows.
Yeah, so tonight, Cleveland and Mitchell's going to be affected. Whether he's going to play or not, well, we will see. I think he's a game-time decision. But the Cavaliers are favored by
7.5.
7.5 now. 7.5. And then Oklahoma City, they did not cover in game 4. Even though they won, they did not cover. Strange double lane violation when the game was on 6 and a 6.5 point spread. Double lane violation on the missed Denver free throw. They win the tip, banking a 3 to cover in the last game. You had some strange covers. Yeah. But Denver is Oklahoma City is the zigzag spot here, as is Cleveland. Both laying 10 and 7.5, some big numbers at home.
Yeah, and I can't make a case for either of the favorites.
Oh, did we lose Andy?
Yeah.
It sounds like, we'll get him right back.
I'll tell you, the Thunder, I thought, the Nuggets, in game 2 were exhausted. They did a 7-game series before, and they came in and played an adrenaline on game 1, a late comeback. They were exhausted in game 2. The other 3 games have been single digits. I think that these teams are closer than maybe what a 9.5, 10-point spread would indicate.
Yeah.
And I think the Pacers are just better than Cleveland right now.
Yeah, 3 close game, but then again, the Pacers, they exhale too and lost.
Well, what I was saying before we sort of got dropped there was the concern I have is Cleveland was in a good spot in game 3. They were healthy and everything, and they ended up winning by double digits. I would have thought that they had a chance to win game 4, but certainly be competitive, because all of a sudden, if they win, it's 2-2. They've got the home court advantage back, and they were totally outplayed from the beginning of that game. That is very concerning. I can't see them having a lot left tonight. We know Indiana's a good team. They played in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, losing to the eventual champion Celtics. They've been able to play well in this season's playoffs, knocking off Milwaukee first. That's just too many points to be laying. Indiana, they're a better team, but they're basically playing like the Knicks. They know that they're not out of any game and they can come back and win. I think it's asking an awful lot for Cleveland to be laying 7.5, especially with the concern about the health of Mitchell and the fact that they played so poorly. It was in a game where they had an opportunity to reclaim the home court edge, and more importantly, a game that if they lost, as they did, would be facing elimination, which they are.
Anything on the future side that this thing has taken such a turn that you're looking at?
No, I haven't done anything with the futures at this point. They're deep enough into the series. I don't think that there are any, maybe.
No, I'm talking about to win it all.
Oh, to win it all?
Yeah.
I like the way Minnesota is playing. Last night was another situation where I played the Warriors in the first half. It was a struggle, but they got there actually leading by 2, getting 2.5. But didn't play them for the game because Minnesota's the better team, and they showed it. They did exactly what they should do. So I think Minnesota is a team to contend with because I think they can give Oklahoma City a good battle just based on the talent and some of the matchups there. In the East, what's not to like about Indiana right now? I mean, especially if they can wrap it up now and get extra rest because we don't know how long the Boston-New York series is going to go, but I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana makes. Now, you'd be talking about an Indiana-Minnesota final. I don't think the NBA would especially like that, but nonetheless, we do have the strong possibility that could occur. Although Oklahoma City still deserves to be the favorite.
Yeah, pretty much. OKC now the favorite with the comeback win of Game 4 at Denver, minus 165 to win the West. Knicks a favorite.
Yeah, that's by the way, that's another line that looks way too high tonight. Denver's still a good team, and recent champion. I don't think they go down easy. I think OKC wins, but I think with the series now even, I think Denver gives it a competitive effort.
So
I know the zigzag says OKC. But remember, there are two versions of zigzag. Do you play against the straight-up loser, or do you play against the point spread loser? Those are two different things.
Yeah, we've been playing against the point spread loser, and so the cover aspect of it, and it's not a 12 playing against a point spread loser.
Yeah.
But to win it all, Oklahoma City is plus 115 or so. And then it's a dip off to the T-Wolves and Knicks and the Pacers, 500, 550, and 750. So the Knicks will get. If you think the Pacers can beat the Knicks, you will be getting a price because Knicks.
I'll tell you one other. What's Boston right now?
Boston to win the whole thing is plus 2,500.
That might be worth a flyer for several reasons. Number one, they're defending champs. Number two, yes, we expect Tatum to probably miss tomorrow night, but this team has a tremendous load of depth, and that's the shocking thing about that series because you would think the team with the greater depth would be able to play its best basketball or the better basketball in the late stages of the fourth quarter, and yet that's exactly where they haven't. And then when you consider the fact that Thibodeau has worked his starters so many minutes throughout the entirety of the season, they're coming up to close to 100 games played pretty soon as far as including the postseason, that's where Boston would have an advantage. So if Boston can get that win tomorrow, maybe that 2,500 to 1 becomes viable because I could certainly see Boston on talent and depth, even without Tatum, having a chance to get by the Knicks.
Very good, Andy. We appreciate it, buddy. Follow Andy at Twitter at VegasAndy711. VegasAndy711. Andy, great stuff as always. Good luck to you tonight and the rest of the week, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Best of luck to you and the listeners as well.
All right. Don't forget our friends over at K&M Automotive. Getting ready to go get an oil change later today over at K&M Automotive. Segan and Perkins right across Segan from Ambrosia Bakery. It's the only place I take my vehicle for. That engine light comes on. Hey, bring it on in to see Jason over at K&M Automotive. Belts, hoses, AC repair, transmission services, electronical issues, no problem. Tires, you name it, bring it over to K&M Automotive. Again, K&M Automotive on Segan and Perkins, 8445 Segan. They're open 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Give him a call, let him know what you got going on, or stop on by. If he's too busy at that point, he'll schedule a time where there's more convenient. But going to give you an honest deal. That's the biggest thing. Give you an honest shake, not going to upcharge you for unnecessary work. K&M Automotive, my buddy Jason Payne on Segan Lane, Perkins, right across Segan from Emperor's Bakery.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Grostead, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to the Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Grostead exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Doe's Eat Place live at lunch. You see Derek Carr on Instagram? Posting for the first days of retirement.
I hope he's having a blast.
All I saw was the quick post of the video. I didn't want to go to the comments just in case anybody's still following him from New Orleans.
Did the Saints a favor?
He did. It feels
like you want to shake it out.
It feels like a whole new day over there, right? That that he's gone. Now if you post videos, knock yourself out. Go right ahead.
We got to get Mayo on, but I listened to that, and I'm telling you, there was more excitement in that fan base than there was for that Cardinals playoff win. That was to put them in the conference championship game. It was kind of expected. It was a great game. Fell behind. First play from scrimmage, they fell behind. But
30.
I mean, we're talking about that was one of the most because it was a surprise too. Yeah. So is that surprise? Man, they just hate this guy so much, man. And I mean, he was pretty average. I mean, he was. I don't know, but maybe a zero in the locker room, maybe zero leader, whatever. But
relief,
damn,
relief.
They're ecstatic, man, more than relief.
Hour number 2 from Doe's 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Bluebonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee, and Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Bluebonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee, and Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m. Weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988. Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat. Snow Seafood and Steak, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway to Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This is Charles Haniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Brock is going again. We're proud to welcome Dr. Jeb Broyles, Dr. Art Hess, Dr. Matt Mozick, and Dr. Alan Schroeder from the Bone and Joint Clinic. Another step in Brock's commitment to delivering high-quality orthopedic care. Learn more at brortho.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch, first class.
I want a seat in first class where I was booked and ticketed over a month ago.
Second class.
No man should be subjected to the indignity of being labeled or treated like a second-class citizen.
And no class.
Life had become like school on Sunday. No class. I'll tell you what then. Why don't you call me sometime when you have no class?
First class, second class, and no class. Brought to you by Supreme Rice. Buy local with Louisiana-based Supreme Rice since 1936.
I'll return here at Doe's Eat Place live at lunch here on Government Street in Mid-City. Come on by and see us for lunch today. We are in the Crown Town room as we are every other Tuesday. All right, first class, couple of pitchers. Let me start with Paul Skeens. He announced today that he is going to be pitching for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic 2026. Not at all surprising for a guy who began his career at the Air Force Academy and has still talked about wanting to do some time in the service when his baseball career is done. But it has been a little bit of a struggle for USA Baseball to get those top line starters in place for this tournament. And so it's not a given that a top pitcher has to go and do this. There is some element of risk. Who was a closer for the Mets? Edwin Diaz that lost an entire season off of an injury, and especially for a guy like Skeens, whose next contract is going to be the biggest one probably that a pitcher has ever signed.
I mean, the Diaz thing was celebrating too.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Okay. Yeah. It wasn't just pitching.
Yeah.
So, but no, they're talking about guys like Austin Crochet. And help me out, but the little short black dude, about 6 feet tall, barely 5'11", that pitched for the Yankees recently, but he was like their number one.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing like Skeens and Crochet.
Right.
I
mean,
so Nestor Cortez?
No, not Nasty Nestor. He pitched for the Devil Rays. He pitched for the Yankees. He pitched for Toronto. I think when he was pitching for Toronto, he's the ace. I mean, it was a.
Yeah. You know, he could have said, "Look, man, I'm 3 years away from the biggest contract of my life, the one that'll set me up, and it's going to be a $500 million contract.
Yeah.
I'm not taking on any additional risk." He didn't do that. He's going to play for Team USA. So good for him. First class to Skeens.
Same old last night, man.
6 innings, 1 run,
left
the game.
left the lead with. Left the game with the lead.
He didn't lose, but the Pirates lost.
Yeah, no, he left the game with the lead, but he had a chance to get it a win. So still a losing record this year for him, but
The ERA is down to 267, something like that.
Yeah, only 1 earned run. Got out of a 2-on situation with a double inning-ending double play in the end of the 6th. But yeah, the relief came in when they took the 2-1 lead in the top of the 7th and gave up 2 back in the bottom of the 7th to lose. So just same old pitch. Strikeouts still though, Charlie. 6 innings pitch, 6 strikeouts. So still not quite. He's right under a strikeout per inning pitch, and that was considerably higher last year.
Isn't this about where he made his debut last year? Right about this time on the calendar. He's been in the big leagues about a year, right? It was early May. It might have been a little bit earlier than this, but it was right about now, ish.
Maybe a little later. Maybe
Sometime
they had to wait to let some time clear. How many
Yeah,
games?
so
we're right
May,
past.
I want to say.
We're right past the quarter mark.
Yeah,
so
something like that. So he's been in the big leagues just about a year and
doing just fine.
A
But
lot-
not the swing and miss guy with 2 strikes guy did quite as much as last year.
The other first class goes to Anthony Einson, who is on just a dominant run. 6 shutout innings against Arkansas with 11 strikeouts and 1 walk. In the last month, the last 4 starts, Anthony Einson's ERA is 1.35. That includes games against Arkansas and Tennessee, 2 of the top offenses in college baseball, against A&M and Alabama, who are both capable teams. More on A&M in a minute. 45 strikeouts and 11 walks, but only 2 walks the last 2 weeks. He had, I think it was 5 in the game against Alabama. So Einson, we touched on this yesterday. if Jay Johnson sticks to his prior pitching plans in prior years, then he'll leave that rotation exactly where it is. And Ianson, if that holds, will be pitching in the most important games for LSU, the marble game of a regional, the stay alive or move you forward game of a super regional, and either to put you in the winner's bracket or keep you alive in Omaha. So him pitching that well is extremely encouraging. It's one of the biggest reasons for excitement with the LSU baseball team right now. He's feeling it, man. And Jimmy, you brought it up yesterday. The body language, everything. He's pitching with so much confidence. The fastball, the breaking ball's always been really good, but the fastball has been extremely good as well. So having that,
he threw that breaking ball for strike 3, and it was to retire the side and get out a little mini jam, and just kind of, he was bouncing almost, but kind of like, you can't hit that when I throw it like that. I mean, just like, I can make that pitch, good luck type of thing. Man, he's building some. And look, man, hey, it's college baseball. You can play that crowd can get you juiced up, and hey, it might lift you sometimes. He might be just fine, man.
And not just the home crowd, but at A&M, when he finished a complete game, he kind of gave the little be quiet, the shush. He said, they asked him about it, I said, because he's not a real demonstrative, guy. He said, well, they were letting me hear it the whole game. Kind of let them hear it at the end of the game. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
I'd rather just tune it all out myself, I mean, I'd rather not acknowledge it. But who can argue with the results and whatever he's got to do to continue those results.
Second class. All right, I brought up one guy who the Pelicans might be in position to draft in the first hour. It's Kaman. Help me, Maluch. I'm keep missaying it.
Big guy for Duke.
Yeah,
from the Sudan.
As a possible, it's
Maluach.
Maluach. Okay, Maluach. I keep mispronouncing it. Anyway, here's another couple of guys that could be available when the Pelicans draft at number 7. Con Knipple from Duke. What do you think?
I think
I'm gonna give you 2 more guys.
I think he's a maxed out guy. When they first got him, even Duke was iffy on to offer him because he doesn't blow you away with his athleticism. He's kind of a limited guy as far as that. He's not long. But man, he knows how to play the game. He was highly productive. He was very clutch when it in spots. I just worry about his physical limitations at the next level.
He's always, but his athleticism is always going to be a little bit of a concern.
If he's surrounded by some guys that can really go, and he could just, he's so versatile. He can do a lot of things for you. And I loved his comfort level, his clutchness when the games were tight. I thought he gives you more than what you originally think by looking at his limitations athletically.
I think he'll be in the league a long time. I think that he will. The comp for me, and if he ends up being anywhere near as good of a shooter as this guy is, he'll have had a great career, is Kyle Korver. They're almost exactly the same size. Korver was.
I think Korver's longer than him, though.
Their listed heights and weights are almost identical. Maybe his arms are a little bit longer, but Korver didn't go till the second round, and he just. Look, he sat in the league and shot for years and years. He even made one All-Star team. I think this
guy's got a chance to be. I think he can shoot as good as him.
Yeah, that's my comp for him is Kyle Korver.
I think Korver had a little bit more bounce to me, a little bit more length, finishing, at the rim, and defending as well, but became a one-dimensional player when he got into the league. Of course, he was at Creighton, and that was before Creighton had gotten to the level where it is now. They were still good, solid program. They're not what they are now. And so he had to do a lot. They ISO'd it. So it was a completely different role for him at Creighton than it was in the league. But, no, man, he was like the leading three-point percentage in the league for a year or two. And Charlie Knipple could shoot, man.
He can. Yeah, he can.
You mean you get to that end of that game, you sweat in that game whether or not he's going to make free throws. He never misses. I can't remember he missed a freaking free throw down the stretch.
I don't know if he'll ever be an all-star, but I think he's going to be in the league a long time just because he can put the ball in the bucket.
He's gonna do what he has to do. He's gonna play in the league. He's already shown he's gonna work on his game. He's gonna get that much better.
Yeah. The third guy is Jeremiah Fears, a point guard from Oklahoma.
He's got some upside.
He's got plenty of upside, especially. Well,
he's playing as a high school senior this year, right?
Yes, he's very young. The knock on him, and it's because of young play, a lot of turnovers. He turned the ball over a lot as a point guard. You can get better at that.
Yeah.
You can get better at taking care of the ball. He was not a good 3-point shooter. You can get better at that. He's a very good free throw shooter, and his athleticism is way up there. You're gonna have to wait on him a little bit.
In this league, they targeted him though when he had the ball. They knew he was young, and they came after. It looked like they showed a little extra effort on trying to rattle him for being young.
Yeah.
And you know what? A lot of times he did turn the ball over. A lot of times he kind of earned their respect too. So he kind of in a different way, kind of like Caitlin Clark got that treatment, because she came with so much, they were going to try and bully her a little bit. I mean, they went after this guy, and this was a damn tough league, and they had a lot of defenders. So I think he handled it pretty good. No defending the turnovers, but I think he was targeted too.
And I think you're going to have to wait on him a little bit. I don't think he'll be an impact guy as a rookie. I think that he's going to have to grow into this, and that's fine. I think, 3 years from now, you could be looking at a really, really good NBA point guard. I think as a rookie, he's probably going to struggle a little bit, and that's okay. A lot of these guys do.
What player in this draft's not going to be is going to have minimal impact as a rookie?
Flag obviously.
Flag is young, man.
But
we're asking a lot.
He's going to start probably from.
Okay, that's fine.
jump.
But I mean, we're talking about some minimal.
Yeah, I don't know how good Harper and Bailey and Edgecombe are going to be as rookies. This kid in particular, I think, is going to have to grow into the role a little bit. But I like him. Okay, you're going to have to wait a little longer. I think.
If that's backing you up, I don't see, including Flag. It's going to take some time.
Yeah, because all these kids are 18, 19 years old.
Yeah, well, I mean.
My other good with a chance to be great is on the golf course this week. Do it for me, Max. Who can win the career Grand Slam this week in the PGA?
Spieth.
Jordan Spieth.
Oh, here we go.
I've done this, I think, 7 or 8 times now with him. But where is he? I know we're going to do golf picks tomorrow. But what kind of chance?
He got an exemption.
What kind of chance do you give him here?
I would love to give him a great chance. I kind of wanted to see
don't,
a little bit more. I'm a Jordan Spieth guy, Charlie. I would love to see it. I just, he's currently ranked 27th in the Data Golf rankings, but his approach play is so inconsistent. It bounces around too much. He hasn't really been in contention a whole lot. He's got 4 top 20 finishes in his last 5 starts, which is good. He's trending in the right direction. He's a longer hitter than people give him credit for. He could fit this course, but he's just not consistent enough to where I just trust him to all of a sudden, out of nowhere, win a major when he's won twice in 8 years, I believe, at this point.
Is it that long?
It's really been a drought for him. I mean, you're asking a lot out of Rory in a long major drought, but he hasn't won a tournament really in a long time, and so it's kind of like the Morikawa-esque. He's on a real drought here.
To me, the entertainment value is off the charts. I mean, he's to the level of difficult, does high difficulty shots. He can really put on a show. Problem is, he's in those positions too many. Yeah. Highly entertaining doesn't usually mean discipline, refined golf. And he's just constantly in trouble. And it takes its toll with his score. I mean, he is fun to watch.
I would love to see him win him. I think he'd be great for golf.
And this is, Charlie, this is not over a month or two. This is over years how he's been playing like this.
I think it would be great for him and Rory to both be Grand Slam winners and, take that into their 40s and, eventually be the starters at the Masters and stuff like that.
Max, you tell me it would be Augusta. No, but he needs a PGA.
He needs a PGA.
I'm sorry.
Right.
But his next, Augusta probably fits his game the best, huh?
I would say that or the Open Championship. He's a really good links player as well.
Okay.
Can kind of play it low. He's got a great track record there as well.
And no class. This is a category by itself. I'm sorry. I've been covering SEC baseball since the early 90s. Since 94 really was the first year, so mid 90s, I guess. And I have never seen a more improbable series outcome than what we saw in College Station this past weekend. Missouri came in 0-24, swept in 8 consecutive series, run ruled in nearly half of those games with a team ERA of 9.22. Think about that. A team ERA of 9.22.
How many one-run losses of the 24?
Maybe one.
I don't know if any.
There were only a couple of. You can look it up. I don't know right off the top of my head. There were not a lot of close games.
No.
Like I said, half of them were run rules, and they were going on the road, mind you, to play a team that had just come off of a series win against LSU, who is now the number 1 team in the country, who has series wins against Arkansas and Tennessee, and who needed these games, who had dug themselves such a hole in Texas A&M that they needed these games to put themselves into the NCAA tournament, not to be a host, not to be a top 8, to just get in the doggone tournament. They needed these wins. I said Friday, I thought, well, there's no way Missouri's going to win a game this weekend. There'll be some pressure in the final weekend when they're at home against Mississippi State, who's only okay, that State won't want to lose. There'll be some pressure there. Maybe Missouri can get one. I think you put the over-under on Missouri wins at 1 for the season.
I put 1.5 for a while,
One and
I
a
dropped
half.
it to half going into the last week.
And 0-30 was definitely on the table. And not only did Missouri sweep Texas A&M in College Station, they came from they scored 6 runs in the 9th inning to get the first game. When they went to the 9th down 3, Max, I know you probably don't know or wasn't keeping track of it, but what would the win odds for A&M being with a 3-run lead in the top of the 9th inning at home against a winless team? 99 point what?
Yeah.
Okay. And they score 6 runs, they win that game. And the next 2 games might have been even more improbable than that, because Missouri 2-hit 1 run in the second 2 games of this, the second and third game of this series, to drop their team ERA from 9.22 to 8.82. Only one of the A&M scored 1 earned run in the last 18 innings of this series against that staff.
2 runs, period. Yep.
Yeah, I have never seen. First of all, we've never seen a team as bad as Missouri. Okay, I'm sorry. Through 24 games, that's the worst team in SEC history, or at least in the last 30 years that I've been doing this. A&M was not bad. They were preseason number 1 in the country. You have 1 game. Look, it happens. It's baseball. 3 games in this fashion. Wow. This is the kind of thing that costs the coach the job.
The reverse run line. Lay the 1.5 is you can even increase your payout, because none of the games were 1-run wins by Missouri in College Station. So anything you could have laid a 2.5 on alt run line. But yes, the 3-team parlay for for Missouri's 3 wins money line, just straight money line, for $100 was $234,800. There was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series in Gainesville, Florida. And so they got rained out on Friday, had to play a 7-inning doubleheader. So a little bit of an asterisk there. The second game was 3-2.
Then that's the only one?
Well, there was only one other time, but only one time for a 9-inning game that it was a 1-run game. The number 1 team in the country.
LSU,
right now.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, damn, Charlie, you pay attention.
Forgot.
Your damn area to store.
It is. I forgot about that.
I mean, you don't know that they played with 1 run against Missouri.
I forgot. I had
7-6.
I kicked that overboard on the Ram boat. I'm just flabbergasted that happened.
The hell, Johnson. Come on, man. We got to make a change, huh? Some staff changes, huh? Only team to play 1-run game against Missouri before that.
Biggest upset I ever saw in college baseball was when Texas Southern beat Rice in the regional in 2004, I believe it was. No, 2003. And Rice had 3 top 10 pitchers on that team. And so they had to throw one of them. They didn't pitch down. They had to throw one of them.
I think it's Humber threw that game.
It was Umber, Neiman, and oh gosh, I can't remember the third guy's name. Whichever one of them they threw, Texas Southern beat. And because of that, they didn't get out of the regional. This would have been like Texas Southern winning the regional almost.
Was Umber the one that threw the no hitter for the
Umber
White
threw the
Sox
no-hitter.
against Seattle?
It was against Seattle. That's right. Yeah. An afternoon game. Umber, Neiman, and oh gosh, I'm blanking.
Well,
on
91. Southern beat the number 1 seed at that time, Cal State Fullerton.
That was in '87.
Is it 87? It might have been
At the lakefront,
okay.
right?
Yes. UNO was the host.
Wade Townsend.
Wade
Townsend is that's who it is.
Yeah.
But Cal State Fullerton was the number 1 seed,
and they were throwing Mike Harkey, I believe.
Mike Harkey did throw.
He was a MLB guy for the Cubs and maybe 1 or 2 other teams.
Mostly
so
with the Cubs.
He was really good. So sorry, A&M. My goodness, no class.
And then you just did not show any fight against a just awful.
Yeah.
That's
you almost got run ruled on Sunday.
I watched it.
Almost got run ruled.
It was. But to just see all them guys at the end of that first game, on the edge of that dugout to get that first one, and look, there was clear. Here's the problem: if I'm the AD at A&M, it is clear who was more excited to play.
Yeah.
The 1-24 team or the team on the bubble. It was no contest who was more excited to play.
First class, second class, no class, brought to you by Supreme Rice, the parboiled rice, the favorite over at the Out household.
It's great.
You can get the jasmine, the long grain, the medium grain, the brown, the jasmine, and the parboiled rice, all at all of your AG food stores, your Walmarts, your Rouses. Ask for Supreme Rice and look for the Climate Smart packaging or label on the packaging that ensures future Louisiana farmers will enjoy the same benefits as they look to reduce methane emissions and promote water conservation. For your jambalayas, for your stews, for your white beans, for your red beans, make it Supreme Rice.
And the great thing, you get best of both worlds with the parboiled rice. Now, it's available in 5, 25-pound, and 50-pound bags, wherever you find all your Supreme Rice products in the grocery store. But also, you get that long grain, that firm richness of your typical restaurant rice, but you also get all the nutrients similar to our brown rice and all the vitamins with it as well. So best of both worlds. I love it, man. I'm not going to any other rice. The parboiled rice with the enriched long grain rice from Supreme Rice.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And we're brought to you in part by the Thibodaux store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux. Hope you got Mom something nice.
Yes.
You got with some of the Cypress furniture. If you didn't, you can you go back. Father's Day is next month, so still got all that Cypress furniture that is available for you. The swings, the benches, the gliders, the benches, the rockers as well at the Thibodaux store and also at the Pierre Part store. But if you're doing home repairs, there's no better place to go because not only are they going to supply you, but they're going to instruct you as well for some of these do-it-at-home projects that maybe you're not exactly sure how to proceed. They're going to save you time and money. You're not going to buy supplies that you don't need. You're not going to work through into procedures that are not going to work. Let their experts help you out at the Thibodaux store. Online, it's doitbest.com/Thibodaux store.
Thibodaux, no E.
That's right.
DAUX store.com. So big green egg, man. You know, it's like it's almost like the Vatican at the outhouse right now. You know, the white smoke comes out. That's a good sign.
Yes.
You know, to be a green egg. Yeah. Yep. So did chicken wings and all that for Mother's Day. So yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff and look, man, it is with all the gadgets and all the outdoor cooking gear and gadgets and burners and grills and and pots to boil. I mean, it is an outdoor cook. We love to do the outdoor cooking. Get ready for the regional super regional.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to doing some cooking over at the Hoover Met, I mean, whatever it is, man, that is a must place. It is awesome. It is. It gets your juices flowing when you go in the Thibodaux store and the Pierre Part store with all the different things you can kind of mix and match with all the different cookware, the outdoor cookware that they have.
The NFL schedule is going to be officially announced tomorrow night. There's been leaks. They do this every year. They leak some of the games. Well, we also have now a time for LSU and Clemson to open the season. The Saturday, August the 30th game in Clemson, South Carolina will kick off at
2:30.
6:30.
Okay, so what are the big boys going to do?
Well, I would imagine
1 versus 2.
The Ohio State and Texas game does not have a time yet.
That's likely to be a big noon game from what I've heard.
I would think. And then the other game that you got that would probably, I would think, wedge in between there would be Alabama and Florida State at 2:30. Those are the three biggest games of that Saturday of opening weekend.
Well, being in Columbus, it's not going to be. You're not worried about the heat. I doubt there would be a big noon game in Labor Day weekend in Austin, Texas. They'd be asking for it.
Yeah,
I mean, that would be just too much. But there is some history to the series, and the history is that the team that won this game, it was a home and home, Both games were at prime time, by the way. It catapulted the team onto a national championship or a national championship game. It was Vince Young going to Columbus and making that last pass late, and that catapulted them onto their national championship game. And then it was Troy Smith. They lost that year, but they went to played in a championship game against against Florida. Yeah, Florida. Would have been 2006.
2006. Yeah, who they play in 2008? Did Florida played in 2008 in the championship game? Oklahoma, right?
LSU.
No, 2008 national championship game. Who'd Florida play? Because they played the 6th game and in the 8th game. They played Ohio State, and then they played. Who they play in? It was Oklahoma. I thought it was.
No. Oklahoma. Florida beat Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Florida.
Oh, you talking about Florida?
Yeah, Florida.
Oh, 06 and 08.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Ohio State.
No, Ohio State played.
03 and 07 was LSU. I mean, but they played back-to-back years where they lost it and got drilled by an SEC team.
Yeah.
In 06 and 07.
Yeah, Florida, Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's what okay.
I will say, does that change if Big Noon has Ohio State, Texas? We talked about how that's the last Lee Corso headgear pick. It's not the same to me when that's in a stadium, when they got to go in to the stadium right before, as opposed to where they have the whole crowd there.
You know, Texas and Ohio State is unquestionably the biggest game, but Corso went to Florida State. You know,
they were so bad last year.
I know, but
I mean,
but
that is.
Max makes a point. Does ESPN want to do Corso's last game where Fox is doing Big Noon? You know,
and they go in the stadium a lot of times. There's nobody going to be there for that. If the game's at noon, there's not going to be anybody there for game day anymore.
But Fox is doing the game, so they can have their guys, and Herbstreit can get on a private jet and go from Columbus to to Clemson.
They could
do that game. That's probably what he'll do anyway.
They've got a choice.
They could still be outside.
They can still do it.
They can still be outside, and they'll still have a crowd.
Yeah, Ohio State's not going to tell them not to come.
They're going to be. There'll be a few people on campus that day without tickets.
Yeah, I just saw with Corso's last headgear, I thought they'd do something where that half the crowd would be gone at that point. If it was at Ohio State, I know it made a lot of sense.
That's the place to be.
To put the Buckeye head back on.
It might be 1 versus 2.
It's unquestionably the biggest
one
game.
versus
It's
two,
unquestionably the biggest game. He's picked Ohio State more than any other team. But if that's a big noon game, and he went to Florida State, I can't rule it out. I still think he probably.
He coached in Indiana too. Let's put Indiana in.
Yeah, but Indiana's not playing anybody.
Okay, well, who's Florida State playing?
Alabama.
Ooh. and on campus?
Yes, at Doak Campbell.
Okay.
So
that's a has-been program anyway.
Well, good 2 years ago until the quarterback got hurt. Oh, you meant Alabama. I'm sorry. I cracked myself up. Mississippi State is
Charlie. We got to do better than losing by 40 though at home. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So before we start,
and you know what else is that weekend?
Taking pleasure in just other people's pitfalls.
Not for the biggest games, but Mississippi State's going back to Hattiesburg this year. Yeah, I had to look it up. I didn't think it had happened recently.
Look,
they used to never want to go in there. Ole Miss.
It doesn't matter.
I know.
That is. Yes, they're very convenient. Yeah, let's go play in Hattiesburg now.
Yeah, they went in 2015. I had forgotten about
Miss
that game.
Used to smoke Ole Miss and Mississippi State.
There were teams,
and they beat Florida State when they're in the top 10, and they beat Alabama when they're in the top 10. They beat Georgia. They beat some. Man, they just got stuck. Their location. They weren't going to put a third team for Mississippi in the SEC. They won't put a second team.
No,
they sure as hell weren't going to put a third team. And they got stuck, man. They just they're not that's a shame. That program it's just what it is. It's over time, but that's as weak as it gets.
Yeah,
it's as weak as it gets in Division I.
So I'm happy that LSU's playing the night game at Clemson. Gives us the whole day to watch.
That'll be rest of the stuff. I mean, it's pretty hot down there too.
No, it's going to be hot. I meant from a viewer standpoint. I didn't mean from the team standpoint.
As long as Texas and Ohio State play at 11 or 2:30.
Yeah,
you don't want to be up against that. That's for damn sure.
I got to think that's going to lead off today. If Fox has got the game, that's where they put their big games. They put them at noon. I can't imagine that's not going to be Fox's big noon game.
You say that. I mean,
they could put it in prime time.
I mean, Oregon, Ohio State was a big damn game for Fox, and they played at night. Last year.
It was.
I mean, they played some night games. It's now they're Ohio State, Michigan. No, that's always at 11.
Yeah,
no matter who. I mean, when's the last time? Well, it's cold then. They're playing at day. They don't want to get at night, but they're always at 11. But they play just as many high profile games.
I hope it's not at the.
Of course,
at
we
the
do.
Same time. We're brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners when it comes to retirement. No two situations are alike, so let them tailor-make a plan for you based on, your age, your income level. They'll tailor-make something that'll get you to all of your financial goals. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. They'll spend a lifetime working for you, and I know because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff, 337-981-1376. Online, it's coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors. Member FINRA SIPC. Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross-Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross-Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steak, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's East Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's East Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Text Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And we return here at Doe's Eat Place. We're in the Crown Town room just off of the main dining room. I invite you to come here, enjoy lunch, enjoy dinner. We're here every other Tuesday at Doe's Eat Place. You said there's one other game, a week 0 game in Ireland. Kansas State and Iowa State.
Yeah,
I think are playing
there's a
over
line on that. 3.5. Kansas State favored.
As are the Vikings. They're playing the Steelers. The Vikings are going to play 2 games in as many weeks in Europe. They're going to play a game in Ireland. Going to play a game in London.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and back-to-back weeks. The first time that has ever been done. That's as the schedule again continues to bleed out.
So home and away game they get credit for?
No, they're crediting them with 2 road games in this. So they play. They play the Steelers and the Browns. They're both, cross-conference games, but they play at Croke Park, which you have been to.
Yes,
it's
pleasant.
Maybe a little bit warmer weather in September than when we went in
March in the mist and rain. It's the catwalk tour is well, let's just say.
When they give you when they give you a safety harness to go on the catwalk, which has railings and has a wide enough thing, and they say take the safety harness and hook yourself to the catwalk. That
I'm like,
cable.
You can see the coast over here. It's a great view of the coast. You can see, and you can see where the English invaded us or whatever. And then
you couldn't see anything. You had the hoodie over your eyes.
You could see over here all the topography and all the green light. I said, all right, I saw it. Now let's get the hell down.
It was freezing.
I mean,
it was absolutely freezing. Now they're going to play 2 games one in Ireland and one in London for the Vikings.
Road credit for road games.
Both credit for road games.
I don't know, man. Jaguars, it's one thing. They put them both when they did back-to-back. That was in London, though, right?
You're right.
Back-to-back in London.
Right.
They got beat the first game, and then they smoked the team the next game.
I'll take your word for it. I don't remember exactly what the I don't remember exactly what the results were.
They're the most comfortable there. They actually have a decent track record of their results because they're not sacrificing a whole lot. Because their home field advantage is not.
So more of the NFL schedule. The Eagles are going to play the Packers on a Monday night game. They're calling that the Tush Push Bowl because the Packers wanted to ban the Tush Push.
They played in Brazil last year, huh?
They played. That's right. They played in Brazil to open the season. The Chiefs are going to play the Broncos on Christmas night.
Where?
They are going to play on
hopefully
Christmas
Denver.
night. Nope. Going to be in Kansas City.
Of course.
Going to be in Kansas City. Black Friday game, the Bears and the Eagles. We're getting a lot of the Eagles schedule. Guess
Fog Bowl.
That happens when you rematch of the Fog Bowl. This is the 3rd straight year the Chiefs have played on Christmas Day. I guess they're the Lakers of the NFL. So they're going to play on Christmas Day. When more of this starts to leak out tomorrow, all I can tell you is that I look for a couple of things with the schedules. Number one, your Thursday night game, where are you playing before that? You always want to play that game at home. Does anybody get stuck with 3 games on the road in a row, which the league tries very hard not to do, but every now and then it's inevitable. And can you get your bye at a reasonable midpoint of the season, not too early or too late? That's 3 things I always look for. I can tell you this. Whatever the minimum amount of primetime games they can give the Saints is what they're going to get. They are arguably the lowest profile team in the league at this point without a quarterback that anybody knows about.
Biggest thing I look for, Charlie, to add on to that is what are your opponents doing in terms of rest? Are any of them coming off a short rest? Because sometimes you get a massive rest advantage. Sometimes it's a disadvantage.
Randy McKay is really good at that. He picks those spots out, and way before the season starts, said, "Hey, this is a good look ahead spot for one of those deals." I would imagine the Saints will have the one prerequisite Thursday night game and maybe one other primetime game, and everything else is going to be a Sunday start.
Last year was back-to-back games for the Jaguars in London. Chicago, they got beat 35-16. It bounced back in Pop New England 32-16. So that's the one I was thinking about. The other pitcher I was thinking about for the Yankees, Marcus Stroman, Charlie. You think Paul Skeens or your boy from Ocean Springs, Tennessee, with the who's he now?
Chase Dollander?
No, the guy. Oh, jeez. He was with the White Sox last year. He's with the Red Sox this year. The Cy Young favorite from Tennessee.
Crochet? Or you're not?
Crochet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You don't think those two are a little bit more stuff?
Yeah.
Marcus Stroman is listed at 5'7". I gave him 5'11".
I thought he was taller. I always thought he was taller than that. No, they've had a hard time getting aces. They've had a hard time getting big time number one pitchers to pitch in the World Baseball Classic. The Americans.
Trey Turner, he's shortstop.
They've
Bregman play? Would he play?
I'm sure he would if they asked him. They've done actually a good job of getting the position players to play. It's been the pitchers that's been a bigger problem. I mean, Mike Trout's played in this thing. Aaron Judge is lined up to play in this one. So the position players they've been able to get. It's been the pitchers that have been the bigger problem.
Well, but U.S. has only won once.
Oh. No,
the last time it was Japan.
Yeah,
because it came down to U.S. and Japan, and then you had the Dominican one year, you had Korea one year. I mean, it's been pretty spread out. It's been pretty good.
I didn't even remember that the United States did they win one?
I'm pretty sure they won one.
I don't even remember them winning one, to be honest with you, but. At any rate, let's see. Did they champions? Yeah, they won it in 2017. 2017.
How many times they played it?
5.
5.
It's
good, man.
No, it's fun baseball.
I don't want my clothes are jumping up or down and tearing his ACL.
That's right. They won it at Dodger Stadium. They won the finals.
It's good.
It's good baseball.
It's pretty good. And so I think for the games in Miami, they outdraw the 81 games they have for the Marlins there.
Better baseball most of the time than with the Marlins play.
Yeah. Don't forget our friends at Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. If your homeowners association requires wood windows at your house, well, you got to call the folks at Relief Windows. The things about the wood windows is you want them to look good, but you also want them to be functional. You want them to last. You get all of that when you call Relief Windows at 288-8138. I speak firsthand, very professional about coming out and evaluating your situation, then notifying you when your material is done, scheduling a time, calling you on the way. It's precise. And then when they install it, extremely professional, clean up after themselves, and it is functional. It looks great the whole time, and it lasts with these South Louisiana extreme weather conditions. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com.
Live at Doe's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988.
Whenever you're ready, Jordan.
All right. It's rolling.
This is Charles Hannegriff. Join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from the Queen Casino in downtown Baton Rouge. Professional sports handicapper Randy McKay, Scott Rabelais from The Advocate, and Wes Reynolds from VEASAN with a preview of the PGA Championship. Live at Lunch from the Queen, Wednesday at 11 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Markets, ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, gates of LSU.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Joe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
New podcast up right now, the Handycast on YouTube. Doug Thompson, Dan Canterbury, and myself talked about the final regular season series, LSU's prospect for the postseason. A longer version of the podcast available right now on YouTube. All right, we got 2 game 5s tonight in the NBA. Pacers and Cavs. Pacers can close this out if they were to pull the upset in Cleveland. They're 7.5-point underdog. And the Thunder and Nuggets back at OKC tied at 2 games apiece. OKC a 9.5-point favorite right now. Jimmy, I'm leaning towards both underdogs with the points tonight. I'm going to take the Pacers and the Nuggets. What say you on these two?
I like the Thunder minus the points. Zigzag here. They did not cover the last 2 games, actually. But also, it's a Nuggets road. I mean, keep in mind, they had that 7-game series where they had to beat the Clippers on that on Derby night, after the Derby that night. And man, I'm just looking for a little wear and tear, maybe exhale. They're not as deep as the Thunder. Thunder's had to kind of counter with playing in the altitude, with going deeper anyway, but they're set up here to maybe really get into the Nuggets' legs. This might be an exhale spot, by the Nuggets physically. And the Pacers, do they have enough maturity to try and go for the throat here? Even a game that they won, they really didn't. In game 2, they said they gave up all the loose balls, all the 50-50 balls. I'm not so sure if I'm ready to bank on Indiana trying to close it out yet. I might see a little bit of an exhale spot here for them as well. So leaning toward the Cavaliers, but I want to get closer to Tip where I see what that game time decision is on Mitchell.
Well, the game they won, he scored 43, I think, and one of the games they lost, he scored 48.
Well, the game he lost, they were out all 3 other starters.
Right. Okay.
So
the game they won, he scored 43. It'd be a lot to ask for him to score 43. And
no, I don't expect that. But the other 3 guys, I mean, they
got some guys back. Yeah.
No, there's no doubt when the game is close and he's their guy that they can ISO and try and and crying out. But they're far from just dependent over the course of the season. Problem is, all these guys aren't 100%. And so I get it, but I mean, you're telling me that Indiana in a closeout spot, which is supposed to be the toughest one, is just going to go in there and take care of business and really I'm not sold on that yet.
I'm going to take the 7.5 points. I could see Cleveland winning the game, but I'm going to take the 7.5 points. Thanks to the folks here at Doe's Eat Plays for being our guests every other Tuesday here in the Crown Town Room. Tomorrow, we are at the Queen Casino downtown Baton Rouge. For Max and Jimmy, Jordan back in the studio. Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total